so far with covers from FEUERSCHWANZ, we are 3 trials in, and all previous pieces have been wonderful to entertain. Yet, those are all homages to popular and noteworthy German songs. We haven't ventured out to other countries yet, at least in my consideration of what I'm first entertaining on this channel with respect to FEUERSCHWANZ. We've certainly not gone yet to the good old US of A, but we are on this video. So how will FEUERSCHWANZ cover abilities extend in other geographical landscapes and other styles as well? Because I consider the previous tracks with rock roots, metal roots, hip-hop roots, even of ding, there's some real variation. But now we go into the Hollywood softer pop energy. At least that's what I'm familiar with on part of Ed Sheeran, who admittedly I've not spent as much time with. Many of you know, as I've said in the past, I've always been more of a metal and rock guy, so I tend to find my tastes deterring more into the alternative. But I have humored the piece. I've heard a couple of tracks and segments of tracks on part of Ed Sheeran in passing, or in their entirety. Let's say, for example, Shape of You. Everyone knows that one. But I forgot about this. And I should have remembered it with, how much of a Lord of the Rings / Hobbit fan that I am. I love the franchise movies and the stories. I think they're exquisite. And Icy Fire was incorporated on part of, I believe, The Desolation of Smaug. Is the, I think, concluding number. I'm pretty sure I might have that wrong. But either way, Ed Sheeran was the featured artist there, and I have heard the piece in advance of covering it to give a good, solid foundation for commentary and analysis on covers, or on the cover respect with FEUERSCHWANZ. But it was a good piece, much softer by comparison, which is why I say, this is going to be an interesting piece to inquire on, because it is a bit differentiated from the other works we've consulted thus far. The first 3. 10 tracks in, or 9 so far, I'm having a great time. Maybe some of you, of course, are approaching being very familiarized to FEUERSCHWANZ. I know a number of you are, granted how many times you recommended them to me. And as I've said, it just made sense to cover them eventually, given, again, I love the European rock and metal spaces, and German groups especially. Coming off of D'Artagnan, that was an easy segue to, oh yes, let's go into the FEUERSCHWANZ. Let's take another rabbit trail, and it's not one I regret. I've had a great time. I hope you do too, for those of you, and I hope this is the case, that I'm spotlighting good groups for you to consult on art and on competency as well as entertainment factor. FEUERSCHWANZ, truly unique. I love the vibe of their music. It has such a great historical presence with a beautiful riveting energy, a good mixture of tone, and an overall fun factor. They're just great entertainment, and I hope you feel the same. And maybe you'll feel compelled on their, I would imagine this piece as well. I don't know. I'm not sure how broad FEUERSCHWANZ following is. I know they're very popular in Europe, for sure, and maybe associated countries. D'Artagnan is too. I always speak in respect to my circles. Nobody knows half the groups I bring up, especially in the European territory. I'm very much a loner, with the exception and the connection point of a number of you. It's been wonderful to have those connections fostered, by the way. I truly respect that. I wonder, though, how strong FEUERSCHWANZ is currently, because I haven't looked, on an American popularity regard. And if tracks like Icy Fire and the potency of Ed Sheeran as a name, because I know he's very popular in the American pop scene, if that could attract attention, maybe. That is a great application for covers, especially to broaden reach. I've seen other artists play with that as well. Let's see if perhaps Icy Fire can help initialize that. But Icy Fire. Let's have more fun with FEUERSCHWANZ. Again, we've had 10 opportunities, or 9. Let's add on a 10th. I'm sure it will deliver. They completely have at this point. Every track I've entertained. And we got a whole litany we're going to be going through in the future, so this journey's not ending soon at all. From sure the enjoyment of many of you. And myself. That's so Odie. That's a D'Artagnan range coming through. And so the sky be filled with fire and smoke. Good range, intentional strain as well. I love that elevation. Okay, they mixed in a rougher side. Bit subdued, though. Good amplification on the bagpipes and string tone. Again, there's the uniqueness trait. Where the original work is much more whimsical. This is more of a folk rock vibe. I love that. Oh, I love that swing.
And if we should die tonight, then we should all die together. Raise a glass of wine for the last time.
By the way, I love the intermixing on behalf of the story side of the video mixed with the live performance footage. Beautiful duality. Amplifies the enjoyment sufficiently. No, I love that build.
Inside the mountain, I see fire.
Hobbit and Hoffman make for a great pairing here. And I'll say in a specialized regard as well, it's nice to see such a strong vocal pairing on behalf of two male lead vocalists. I love that. I don't always see that with many songs I listen to generally. Sometimes it's a mix between usually a male and a female compatriot, especially in the collaboration space, or two women. So it's nice to see the overlap between two guys. Because I think here it's so beautiful to listen to on vocal balance. With Ben, of course, taking Hody taking center stage, getting that allowance, and more Hopsman is playing the supporting role. That raised inflection with the natural receding, that wavering of concentration, I love it. You know, Lord of the Rings and Hobbit covers are in right now, considering, let's say, recently The Dark Side of the Moon, and it was done very well there with the Misty Mountains. Now we have a great coupling as well for the subsequent film. That's funny. I wonder if anyone else has noticed that. Maybe the group did too, I'm not sure, but this was earlier ago. So it'd be in reverse order. Great twist on it. That definitely takes on a different approach from the original work, and yet it does feel just as reverent. In a different way, though. Because again, you're taking a very soft song with more of a ballad structuring. And definitely a cinematic presence again on part of that original I See Fire. And Ed Sheeran had a great vocal set. So there is quite a differentiation between two works, to be fair. But there is a feeling of reverence on... I think the key choice is the same. I might have that wrong. No, it's different. FEUERSCHWANZ, I think, went a little lower. I like that tone they picked, though. I do. It fits better with the rock energy, especially amplifying that... which was a mainstay of D'Artagnan, and with FEUERSCHWANZ sometimes gets fleshed out on part of styling, that musketeer feel. It's definitely very German. I like it. I love the personality, especially when you consider different artists and their individual appearances and sound and quality offering. FEUERSCHWANZ, their original pieces are just as strong creatively, and this sort of follows along that path. Again, it trades in that softer, cinematic, mystical feel for that traditional folk rock vibe, but just as faithfully delivered with such vibrance on the vocals. I love Hody's twist at that end. Again, the higher inflection, like he sounds great. But the pairing, again, as I also said, from my standpoint, I haven't experienced dual male lead vocalists as much in an overlap. Sometimes, yes. I think the association between both Hody and Hopsman works so well here. Great range, beautiful depth. I love that accent. Again, it has such a good basis for the song's tracking. Great rhythm, softer engagement on behalf of the rock sound, but I just love the procession of it. And a great intermixing as well, I said, on vocal styling between a live performance, which again, I love sensing the passion of the artist and the audience. And it's great as somebody, again, who's just looking to these, experiences and part of videos, right? I'm not there for the live show. I would love to be one day. Maybe more groups make it to the US, or maybe I'll have to hop on over to Europe at some point. I would love to go to a FEUERSCHWANZ show, though. I would love to. I'd love to be part of that crowd. Just the passion, the camaraderie as well. Because again, I don't have this in my personal life, and I wish I did, but I don't. I have it with you, to a degree. But it's not the same for sure as a live experience. That would be so much fun. And as great as the story was, it's beautifully engaging, again, echoing that mystical side of the Hobbit movie. Beautifully materialized, and as I said, again, the pairing between where I'm sitting right now of Hobbit covers seem to be, and at least in the way that I'm considering them. The present day, I'm considering Dark Side of the Moon's Misty Mountains song to stand alongside this one, again, released in different orders years apart, but it's just funny. It's like it's a real Hobbit mood, and on both tracks, there's been such exquisite delivery on adaptation, because they're both covers, at least in that respect. Just such a personality of the piece, and you sense that again with the portrayal of the video and the live performance. I just love that connection point. I really do. Hopefully I'll make it to a FEUERSCHWANZ show one day. That would be great. And maybe they'll perform I See Fire. I don't know. That'd be fun to watch live. Again, it's a softer song by comparison to some of their other more intensive ones, but it's a delight to humor anyway. FEUERSCHWANZ, it absolutely is. I love the personality. I love the fun factor, even if it's just maybe crowd engagement. It maybe less of a comedic side for sure by comparison to some of the other songs, but it's just great. I love humoring this group, and they're always such a joy to entertain on this channel as well. In respect to their other covers now, we are 4 for 4 on successful delivery. Let me end translation. I'd love to hear your thoughts down below on this version, and how do you feel it best echoes the piece for you? Right? Which is your favorite? The Ed Sheeran number? The original inspiration? Or this new take? I'd love to hear about it down below if you do wish to disclose that, and whatever angle you come from. Newbie FEUERSCHWANZ listener, and I would imagine fan as well, or longtime fan. Love to hear about it down below. 10 for 10. I'm having a great time, as always. And as I said, we've got a good assortment of numbers coming from them in the future. It's a long list, but more time to spend with FEUERSCHWANZ. I've already pre-bought all the songs, so I'm ready to go, and we're going to have such a fun time in the future. I can't wait to get more of a perspective, especially since now, at least in the selection of tracks I've picked, we're concluding Das Aufdegebot, and apart from one single for the next video, next will be... let me pull this up just for reference. The next album by release date was... Again, with exception to that single, where's FEUERSCHWANZ here? Okay, that's the new album. I believe, yes, Memento Mori. That one's next. Looking forward to it. More FEUERSCHWANZ, always fun. Especially on the cover territory. I love what they did with this Ed Sheeran number. Can't wait to hear more. Thank you so much for watching this video. Before you bounce, feel free to drop a like and comment, subscribe to this channel with a ding on the bell, and share this video with your friends. And consider checking out the description here. There you'll find links to my other channels, as well as addresses to my other social media accounts and ways you can help support my work if you feel so inclined. May God bless you, and looking forward to when our paths cross again.